Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. It is countdown to kick-off and it is a very special countdown to kick-off because not only are Manchester United taking on Wolves at Old Trafford, it is our last countdown to kick-off of 2025. Let's hope we can end it on a win. We got 3 points for Christmas. Can we get 3 points as a special New Year's present going into 2026? It is New Year's Eve tonight.
New Year's Eve. I didn't know what that was, by the way. I was so confused. When you were saying it before, I was like, New Year's Eve, what are you talking about? But I get it now. New Year's Eve. Hopefully, like I said before, like you said, actually, we can get this win and go into 2026 on a positive.
Exactly. You know, build a bit of momentum. We are decimated. We're going to get into loads of stuff tonight. The squad is decimated. We've got injury news coming out as well. We're going to get team news in. We have a special guest joining us. It is a Wolves fan who's going to the game. Dave is joining us in the studio to answer all of our Wolves-related questions and give us a little bit of Wolves insight as well. And we've got loads of interactive features for you guys. So we ask you to do this. Smash a like on the video first and foremost. Get your questions in, get your super chats in, and please interact with the polls that we're doing. We've got polls and questions running on our Instagram at the United Stand TV. Go over there whilst you're watching the show or listening to the show and get involved. It's an interactive show. We want everybody to participate in today's show.
You know what we might even do as well? Me and Kev did it, Super Chat of the Week.
Super Chat of the Week, Super Chat of the Day.
Super Chat of the Day. So send in your Super Chats and the best one, at the end of the day, we're going to read it out and we're going to have a big discussion about it.
Exactly. We might even do that on the fans forum as well. So yeah, thank you everyone for getting involved already. I can see so many comments coming in, so thank you very much for getting them in. But let's get started. I mean, it's New Year's Eve. Next year or the year after that, it's probably going to be New Year's Eve because people just like to make up new things to celebrate. Yeah. I'm all here for it, to be honest with you. I love an occasion. I love an excuse. Yeah. So I'll be there for it. But Man United, Wolves, Old Trafford, how you feeling, Mordzs?
How am I feeling? Look, like you said, it's the end of the year. I want to finish the year on a positive. I remember the countdown to kick-off against Newcastle, and obviously a lot of people were like, oh, we might not win, and all this kind of thing. I'm thinking, why not? Like, why can't we beat Newcastle the day, a couple of days before Christmas, or Boxing Day, the day after Christmas? And it's the same thing today. Wolves, we should win it anyway, but why not win by 4 or 5 goals? You know what I mean? Like, why not absolutely destroy them and just have the best ending to the year that we could possibly have? So, yeah.
Well, I'm not having a single excuse flying out of that stadium tonight of not beating Wolves. And we can talk about the fact that players were at AFCON, we can talk about injuries, but Wolves, look, I'm so sorry, Wolves fans, I don't want to be disrespectful, but on paper, you literally are the worst ever Premier League team that we've had.
I shouldn't laugh. It's bad to laugh. 2 points. Yeah. 2. I think they're on track for less than 5 points.
I saw the other day a Wolves fan. They actually spoke on. I was doing a little bit of research. Yeah. Always Wolves TV. That's where we've got Dave from, who's coming on tonight. And I saw a Wolves fan on one of their shows say they don't think they're going to win a game all season. Don't think they're going to get one win all season. So I'm sorry, there is no excuses to not get anything but a win tonight. I mean, Wolves could come here and park the bus and drag out a point of us, but I'm still not hearing an excuse. We're at Old Trafford. Everyone's in a good mood. We've beat Newcastle when, let's be honest, a lot of fans, like you said, probably didn't expect that at the time because of the squad that we had. But we've got enough here. Although I was speaking to my brother just keeps getting more and more negative though, bless him. I think it's really getting him down. Hayden, yeah.
Oh, Hayden, I like Hayden.
I was speaking to my brother and he was saying, Beth, I think we will win, but look at our team. Look at the players that are out there. He said, in that second half against Newcastle, we basically had a low-prem, high championship team playing. And we went through every player, and to be fair, like...
Championship's strong. It's not a championship team.
No.
Yeah, it's not.
But it was a weaker team. I back our players 100%, but it was a massively weak team.
Yeah, but it's not our fault. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we just haven't gone out and recruited enough players. We've got some of our best players are literally, at AFCON. Some of our best players are injured. You know, it's going to be difficult, and that happens time and time. Sometimes you're going to go through parts of the season where you're going to have literally half of your team out. So the fact that we got the win, we should be even praising the team even more because we probably shouldn't have won that game with that team that we had.
Well, Man United as well. We have been on ups and downs this year.
Yeah.
We've struggled to gain consistency. We've got a nice little run of fixtures now. Yeah. We've got Leeds after this, which Leeds have picked up a bit of form, to be fair to them. Yeah. But we want to be getting back-to-back wins in the Premier League. That's something that we've struggled to do. I mean,
we did it one time and then that was it.
I mean, Frank's still got his hair, United strand still like massively out here, but you want to be getting them back-to-back wins, and we've struggled to do that. And today's a good opportunity to start putting that in place, going into the new year on a high.
Yeah, no, I agree. We could even do the same thing again when we win 3 games in a row, and then after that, it's where the bigger questions start to come. So. Back-to-back wins, I don't even like really talking about that. I feel like that's the old conversations where it's like we're just constantly talking about how bad United have been because we couldn't get back-to-back wins. I kind of want to at least focus on the positives today. You know, yes, we could win 2 games in a row, but we could absolutely destroy Wolves, and that's what I want. That's what I want to do. Unfortunately, I know we got a Wolf fan coming in soon, so we're gonna have the conversation.
Dave can take the banner.
He'll take the banner, innit? But
Dave's
I want to absolutely like just embarrass Wolves today. Like I want it to be bad.
You're mean. But I also want that.
I want it to be bad.
I want Cunha to score a hat-trick.
Yeah,
like
Cunha, Sesko.
The Wolves fans.
Who else is there? Dorgu. You know
oh,
what
yeah,
I mean?
I'd love to see Sesko get on the score sheet. I think he really needs it for his confidence. I mean, Carlo Montana has put a super chat in. Am I the only one nervous, I'll say, for this game? You can read it if you want to see. I'm not. This is a child-friendly show, everyone. Am I the only one nervous for this game? And
probably, yeah.
I know Ricky is, but you know what he's like. Did you watch Wolves versus Arsenal?
No, I didn't actually.
Right, that's why you're not nervous. I watched Wolves versus Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago. I don't know. It's all blurring into one this festive period at the moment.
Oh no, I just remember the game.
Yeah, and Wolves should have drew. They should have at least got a point out of that game.
Was it 2-1?
And yeah, it was 2-1.
Yeah.
They should have at least got a point. And what they basically did is park the bus for the whole game and then nick something. But you know, Arsenal managed to go on and do it. But was it 2-1 or was it 1-0? I think it was 2-1. But Wolves really showed themselves in that game to be able to maybe grind something out. And under Rob Edwards, and we'll ask Dave more about this, in the first half, they're looking a lot more solid. It's usually in the second half that they begin to decimate. So I wouldn't, even though they're on 2 points, and don't get me wrong, I will not hear a single excuse leave Amrim's mouth in that press conference. We've still got to win. But if they come here and park the bus, they could cause us problems, especially considering at this moment in time, we are in a situation where we think Mount is out as well as Man Utd and Bruno, and your creative players start to dwindle a little bit. I don't want to put a negative on it, I'm just saying.
No, I hear what you're saying, and it's cool. That Arsenal game was a bit of a... I see that as an outlier, if I'm being so honest. You get the best team in the league versus the worst team in the league, and they're having a close game. I see that as genuinely just being one of them games that happened...
Was 2-1.
They lost 2-1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like that game was just... Yeah, I don't see that as a representative of how well Arsenal are doing and how badly Wolves are doing. That to me is just an outlier of a game. Because like you said, they set up in that game even differently to how they set up against United. And against United, or against us anyway, they probably came at us a bit more. You know, they were pressing us a bit higher. They were trying to play a bit more football, whereas Arsenal, like you said, they just sat back and just soaked up all the pressure and tried to nick a goal. So, I don't know. I'm not looking at that game to kind of determine how well Wolves are this season. I'm sorry. I'm still not hearing no excuse from no one. Not even a goal. I don't even want to see shots on target.
I do think we have to keep a clean sheet this game.
100%.
I mean, you know who I've gone captain in my FPL team?
Don't tell them.
No one can say that I've got any sort of agenda right, because I want every single player to do well, and I am the biggest leader of Patrick Dorgu FC tonight. He's my FPL captain. I wasn't going to tell anyone about that because I didn't want to jinx it, but here we are. Couldn't help it. Couldn't hold it back. Patrick Dorgu is my FPL captain. Haaland, don't want to know.
I think that's
Patrick Dorgu, right. Clean sheet, playing right wing, we think, like he did last game. I'm here for it.
I'm not going to say you've got an agenda in it, because I think that's not fair.
I've criticised him in the past.
But you've definitely had your fair share of words about Dorgu.
Yeah, but last game you looked really good. So I'm back.
Fair enough. I wanted to do well. I don't know if I'd captain him in FPL, but yeah, Dorgu can have the same game he had last game. I think he won the Player of the Week, actually.
He did?
Yeah, so it's probably the best week of his life, realistically. So hopefully he can carry on that momentum. I think confidence is one thing in this team that you can see that the players, when they have the confidence, they're just different players. When Cunha's got more confidence, he's a different player. When even like Ahmad or Mount or Xerxes, and obviously Dorgu as well, and Dalot, a lot of these guys, when they're confident and they're playing with a bit more spirit and a bit more passion, they play way better. So hopefully that this kind of boost something in him to kind of go out there and have his best game again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can already see some super chats coming in from you guys, so keep getting them in. I mean, just to kind of give you a bit of an overview going into this game, because we are going to do our predicted lineup very, very shortly. Man United's last 5 games, 1-0 win against Newcastle, buzzing about, 2-1 loss against Villa, 4-all draw against Bournemouth, 4-1 win against Wolves, and a 1-all draw. So from most recent, it is a win, loss, draw, win, draw. Inconsistency. We need consistent wins. Do you know what? I want to get to a point in 2026 where I'm reading out the last 5 results and it's win, 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 win. And I would love that.
Yeah.
And then Wolves' form is 2-1 loss against Liverpool. I mean, you allow Wirtz to get his first goal. Come on. 2-0 loss against Brentford. 2-1 loss against Arsenal. 4-1 loss against Man United and 1-0 loss against Forest. So loss, 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 loss. Like, United can't be allowing even a point tonight. You just can't.
I read somewhere before, please someone tell me this is true or not, that Wolves have actually had the longest winning streak this season.
I saw that. I didn't go and investigate it because I just thought that cannot be true.
Someone let us know in the chat, because I read it and I thought this is like some fake page. So I just carried on scrolling, but someone let me know, is that true? The Wolves, I know obviously like last season, let's not over exaggerate, they weren't like an amazing team, but they're definitely a better team than they were this season. But did they have the best, or like a longest winning streak of the season? Surely Arsenal have had a longer winning streak this season.
We're sending one of the viewers that isn't driving to the game, so make sure you're in a safe environment to go and look that up and let us know. Tom McBride said, he is my captain too, Team Doggy. Team Doggy. Daniel Thompson says, hope you're well, Beth and Mordzs, and thank you for all the great countdown to kick-offs and fan forums in 2025. Always brilliant. One last time in 2025. Let's go to work. Come on, United. Love that, Daniel. Thank you very much. Have a lovely new year. Wolfie says, should be 9 straight points for Man United in the next 3 matches. Cunha and Sesko will score tonight in a 3-0 win. I'm going with that as well, Wolfie, so thank you for your super chat. Nos Gaming says 3 goals for Man United and 1 for Wolves. That's my prediction. Cunha and Sesko will make it happen. Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk a little bit more about Cunha and Sesko when we do our predicted 11, because I'm assuming they're both going to be in there. There's been a few words spoken about Sesko this week, and I do just kind of want to talk about it a little bit, but we'll do it when we do our predicted lineup. But just to kind of, and we're going to be doing like little New Year bits throughout the show, so stay tuned for that. Just to kind of go over Ruben Amorim's managerial record in 2025. So if you look at just the Premier League, right, because there is some Europa League games in there, but I mean, do we talk about that? I'll do just the Premier League. So 35 matches in the Premier League, 14 won, 10 drawn, 11 lost, with a 40% win rate.
Okay.
Do you think Ruben Amorim will better that in 2026?
He has to. I mean, what? Like, he has to. 40%. I really want to know what, like...
You don't want to know his domestic cup record.
Oh, is it worse?
I mean, it's only 4 matches, 1 won, 2 drawn, 1 lost, 25% win rate. But
it's just not enough games to really judge. But yeah, 2026, 100%. I think he has to. I really want to know what like other managers, their percentages. But I just think 14 wins in 12 months, it's not great. And realistically, 2 or 3 of them will probably come in December, I think, pretty much. So it would have been, really and truly, he would have been averaging a win a month if it wasn't for this, recently, the last run of form. So, yeah, I think definitely he'll get a better
I've just got up Unai Emery's just an example.
Okay, yeah.
So Unai Emery's in 2025, 35 matches, 22 won, 7 drawn, 6 lost, 62.9% win ratio. So
well, he is doing very well. They've been on a pretty long winning streak as well this year.
He is 62.9% for Unai Emery, 40% for Amorim. I'm hoping we kick on, and I'm hoping Ruben Amorim can get to that point in the Premier League. But that's where United should be aiming for. Look, I don't think Villa. I mean, I hope Villa win the Premier League. Please win the Premier League over Man City and Arsenal. I would absolutely love that. Obviously, I want United first and foremost, but over City and Arsenal, please Aston Villa do something for me. But I think that's where United should be aiming to be. I get that Emery's been at Villa for a lot longer a time, but we should be aiming to compete. I don't think we're capable of doing it yet, but next season I want to be able to compete at least. Yeah. That's what I want to be aiming for as a United fan. Yeah,
no, I agree, and that's why, like, for me, when people always just say like the storms come in and I used to think it's a bit of a negative mindset. It's like you're almost saying, I don't mind losing because I expect us to lose. And I just think, I don't know, I get it, we're not the United of the past, but I would never expect any other United team to admit that we're going to be bad. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of the players that we have, you always think, this is how I was raised anyway, you always think United are going to have the chance of winning. We might not win, but you always believe that we are going to win. So this whole thing of, oh, we're going to be in a difficult period, we're going to be bad, I just think it's a bit of a negative mindset. You should try to think, we're going to be better, we're going to win, we're going to try to win at least. And when you think like that, you end up going and doing better than you probably thought you were going to do. So, I think going, like I said before, going to next season, maybe not as high as, hopefully anyway, but I doubt we're going to be, winning 60-70% of our games, but 40% we should be pushing that way higher.
I also want to boost our clean sheet record as well, because for Ruben Amorim in 2025, 35 matches in the Premier League and 6 clean sheets with a 17.1% clean sheet record. So, do you know what? And I think we can do so by playing a back four. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think we look more compact and we look more solid when we play that back four. So.
And midfield three.
Yes, and a midfield three. Make it hard to break us down, honestly. But look, speaking of all things 2025, we were at Old Trafford earlier and we asked you guys, who is your favourite Man United player of 2025?
Bruno, obviously. No point asking at all. He's been our best player for since he signed.
Bruno Fernandes.
Without any doubt. Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes. Mbemo. Mbemo. Mbomo. Martinez. Cunha. Mbomo. Amad Diallo.
Yeah, Amad.
Cunha.
Cunha.
Gotta be Cunha.
Yes, of course. Or maybe Mbemo.
Favourite game for United in 2025?
Do you know what? Beating Liverpool at Anfield for the first time in God knows how many years it was. That was a brilliant result.
Bilbao. Semi-final at Old Trafford 4-1.
Liverpool versus United 2-1 when Maguire scored the header.
I must say the one against Newcastle, although we were poor, sometimes you've got to try and pick points up even when you play rubbish. So that one for me was my favourite, I think.
The Lyon game, of course.
I love that match. It was very exciting for me.
I think it were the one versus Wolves 4-1.
And then if you could share a New Year's drink with any of the players out the squad, ask them anything, or the manager, who would you pick?
Honest to God, Mainu, just to wonder what's going on with him, where he is.
Yeah.
Because I think, obviously, like Goldbridge said, obviously everyone's saying he's injured and that, but obviously Goldbridge said he might not be because obviously they might just be protecting him in case he wants to go for a move. I agree with that completely. So yeah, I'd love to find out what the crack is with him, really.
I will share with Wayne Rooney, but he's not here anymore.
Amad Diallo.
Martinez.
Yeah.
He'd be good at the bar. He'd be a bit of a laugh, wouldn't he? Ruben Amorim. But I don't know why. I like him.
Yes! Love that, guys. Okay, the next one is a spicy one.
I like that ending. We have to discuss ours quickly before we go to the tactics board. The first question was, who is your player this season? Or player 2025?
Not the season more, 2025.
Yeah, 2025.
My player of 2025 is Bruno Fernandes. It's got to be. He's our best player. I try to think of other people. Look, if De Ligt was the way he was at the start of this season all year round, could have given it to De Ligt, to be fair, but I think it's got to be Bruno.
Yeah.
What was your favourite game of 2025
It's got to be Lyon.
Has to be Lyon.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other big games were. Yeah, it's got to be Lyon. The Liverpool game was great as well.
Yeah.
Liverpool game was great. But yeah, no other game really compared to that Lyon game.
I think it also depends if you're in the stadium as well, because I think that Lyon game, if you're in the stadium, it was just insane. Genuinely insane.
Yeah.
And I watched the Liverpool one on TV. Yeah. So obviously it's still amazing. But I can imagine if you were in the away end, you might veer towards that one.
Yeah.
But I think when you're actually at the game, it tilts it even more for you. So I'd go Lyon, but some people maybe who've watched both on TV or have even been at the Liverpool game might go to the Liverpool one.
I think that Lyon game was arguably our best game of the last, 5 years.
Just before we do the tactics board, who knows? Do you know what? I nearly said this in my road trip, but I thought, Beth, don't be so rogue.
Yeah, go on.
Mason Mount looks like he's out for this game, and I was saying, who would you put in instead of him? Would you go with Jack Fletcher, or would you go with Joshua Zirkzee? And I said in my road trip, I'd go with Jack Fletcher because Joshua Zirkzee looked like his head was already in Rome. Like, the last game, he just did not look up for it whatsoever. So I said I'd actually go with a future player for Manchester United, the future of the club. But in the back of my head, when I was walking back from Old Trafford, I was thinking, what about Shea Lacey? But he's barely seen a minute, so surely you wouldn't start him. However, there is a rumour coming out that Shea Lacey starts for United tonight. It's just a rumour. I've just been told. The rumour is that Shea Lacey starts for United tonight. Could you imagine?
That's big. I mean, look, we're going to the tactics board, so let's just start there, innit? Let's start there. Shea Lacey, if he was to start, I'm going to go based off this rumour because let's make it a little bit interesting this week. Where are you starting him? Where are you starting Shea Lacey? You're going to put
Mount's
him on
position.
Say that again.
In Mount's position.
On the left.
Oh, I swear, Dorgu better be starting right wing as my captain on FPL. He better not have moved Dorgu. No, I would start Lacey on the left.
Start Shea Lacey on the left. Look, we're going to do it. We're putting Shea Lacey in the team.
We're just going to do it.
Why not? Let's see.
I don't even know where the
happens.
rumours come from. I've just been told it, but I'm rolling with it.
It makes it more fun. It makes it more interesting. And we are playing Wolves, so you almost feel like Amrin might take a little bit of a risk just because they are probably the weakest team we're going to play in a while. So Shea Lacey on the left, do you guys agree? Based on the rumour? Don't know. Let's see what happens. But let's go back to the other players in the team. I mean, we may as well carry on with the attack, actually. Let's go to the right-hand side. Your favourite player, captain.
Patrick Dorgu.
Go on. Talk to me about the differences between Patrick Dorgu playing as a right winger compared to, a left wing back, I guess.
I think exactly what Amrim said. And do you know what? We often criticise Amrim for his in-game management and maybe not getting the best out of his players. And I can completely understand why. I've done it myself. But if you criticise him for his subs and his in-game management and not getting the best out of the players, I think you've got to also, give him a little bit of respect when he does get the best out of players. I didn't hear anybody before that Newcastle game saying, when we've got this many absentees, let's play Dorgu right wing. But I think he saw that he was maybe struggling with a bit of confidence and overthinking when he's in that left wing back. And maybe he was forced into it because let's be honest, if Ahmad and Mbeumo were there, he wouldn't be starting right wing.
Yeah.
So he was forced into it a bit, but he still made that decision that a lot of other fans didn't see. He's played there before for Lecce, and all of his goals in his career have come at right wing. For Lecce, by the way. Yes, Lecce is different to Manchester United, but Amrim said previously, he's got it in him, but he's suffering from anxiety and overthinking. When you're playing as a right winger, you've got, even though he tracks back super well because he's used to it, his assurance in his own mind is, Dallow's behind me. You're playing as a left wing back and you're in the final third. You lose the ball, you've got to get all the way back yourself. So I think when he's playing at left wing back, he's overthinking his final decision in the final third because maybe he's worried about losing the ball and how that would affect the team going back. But when he's on the right wing, I think he has more freedom and less kind of anxiety to get forward, maybe take a few more risks and not worry about that being a detriment to us on the counter-attack.
I've got another question though. Do you feel like that's something that our actual right wingers, Ahmad and Mbeumo, do you feel like that's something that will play in their mind as well? Because a lot of people talk about Ahmad being a right wing back compared to being a right winger, and obviously right now he's playing at Ivory Coast, playing amazingly, won 2 man of the matches as a right winger, and a lot of people saying, oh, but this is why we should see Ahmad play as a right winger. Do you feel like he might have that same mentality almost as, I need to get back every time I go forward?
Yeah, and I think it is a good thing because all the best teams in the world, I think their wingers have that discipline and they work hard. It's a team game, as Ricky would say. But I think for Ahmad, it's sort of a little bit different because Ahmad is ridiculously talented. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's just ridiculously talented. So with him, he's got that talent to go forward, so he believes and trusts in himself, but also he's such a hard worker. He's the best of both worlds, Ahmad, because he'll work super, super hard going forwards and going backwards. And then Mbeumo does that as well. I think what Amorim has done, which I think is really important for all of the criticism we've had for him, is he is identifying players that are hard workers and will work for the team. So many people say, oh, imagine if you were Ahmad having to play as a right wing back when you're that good going forward. Look, Ahmad usually gets more joy as a right wing back because
pick up the ball deeper and stuff.
Yeah, he gets out wide more and he gets more space, and that's a position that he thrives in. When you've got, cover coming over from that right centre back, you can get forward a lot more. So I think for Ahmad, he's just super talented. I think he could play in multiple positions because of how good he is. What I will be interested to see is how Amorim lines up, because he said when the AFCON players are back, he said when absentees are back, we will play with different formations now. We are going to play with, a back four a lot more. I'll be interested to see where Ahmad plays when that happens.
Honestly, I think that's one of the biggest questions. That's what I'm thinking, as well as Mbeumo. Does that mean Mbeumo goes to strike? Does that mean Mbeumo just stays in his natural position? Does Ahmad, I don't know, go to the left?
He has played there before for us.
He has, yeah. And I think Ahmad has to play, in my opinion.
Oh, he does.
I always say that. I think Ahmad has to play, so...
It's interesting because I think Mbeumo and Ahmad are two of our best players that have to play, but they play similar positions.
Yeah.
I honestly think at this current moment in time, our best front three is Cunha, Ahmad and Mbeumo. But that's why Sesko's really got to step it up now and kind of show himself. He's a different type of, player. He definitely offers something different, and I think he offers a lot more than what people are giving him credit for. But if you're asking me to pick the current best front three for United, if you're playing a 4-2-3-1, if everyone's fit, it would be Ahmad, Mbeumo and Cunha for me. But anyway.
And Mount's, where's Mount?
Mount is in the midfield.
Okay. Let's go.
Three-man midfield. Don't catch me out.
Let's go to the striker, because we just spoke about it just then. Are we putting Benjamin Sesko in there?
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Look, if Xerxes, I'm assuming Xerxes will be on the bench, but he looks like his head's in Roma, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does. But he's going to get the move, so good luck to him. Hopefully, he's going to be on loan pretty much.
Loan obligation, I think it's looking like, or option. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. So going back to the rest of the team, we've got Sesko as striker. Who are we playing in his 10 position? Obviously Bruno's not available.
Cunha,
Mateus Cunha.
It's going to be his game. I'm predicting a man of the match game for Cunha.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man of the match for Cunha and Doggy.
Both of them.
Both of them.
They can walk out with the trophy together.
So Cunha in the middle. Then we've got the two midfield options. Casemiro is obviously back. We've got Ugarte as well. And Mount's actually. What's the update on Mount? You have the latest update. What is the update on Mount if he's available for this team?
Well, this is what's coming out so far, and it's just a rumour. It's coming out from United Frenzy on X. Shea Lacey is set to be handed his first Premier League start for Manchester United against Wolves tonight. The 18-year-old academy graduate is expected to replace the injured Mason Mount in the starting 11 on what will be his first senior appearance at Old Trafford. So it looks like Mason Mount is injured and he's out. So Amrim's putting Shea Lacey in. Look, Amrim's been criticised for not, relying on the academy or utilising the academy. It's forced his hand today to do so, and I think you've got to give Ruben Amorim credit for doing that. Everyone's super excited about Shea Lacey at Old Trafford as well, against a team that we are expected to beat. I think it's going to be it's a real vote of confidence in the young player, and he's also a super, super exciting prospect that everyone in and around the club and everyone who's watched Shea Lacey knows how good he can be. So I think it's the perfect game to bring him into. Yeah, he's probably been forced into it because of injuries, but I hope he has an absolutely belting performance, and what an occasion for him to do so.
I think he's an absolute player. From the little games that I've seen and little highlights I've seen from him, he's got that. I know there's people going to hate that I say this, innit? But he's got that Phil Foden little stance about him. I know that people are like, why are you comparing to a City player? But that technical ability where it's like he looks comfortable on the ball in every kind of way. That's what I like the most about him, and I think he's going to hopefully, if he plays, a great game. So look, we're onto the other midfield position, because I put Casemiro in there because Casemiro's obviously going to start. Who's starting here? It's going to have to be Ugarte, really.
Ugarte?
It's going to have to be Ugarte.
I saw him post a little compilation on TikTok earlier this week. He had a really good game, last game. Like I said, right.
Go on.
The game against Newcastle really suited Ugarte, because I think Ugarte thrives in a very chaotic game where United, or the team he's playing for, don't have much possession. He gets himself everywhere, super energetic, he's getting tackles in, he's breaking up play. When he's kind of under the cosh defending and getting himself around the pitch, he usually does really well. Like, he's had games against Liverpool where he's been brilliant.
Great, yeah.
Like them sort of games, like the bigger teams, like he usually steps up. Tonight, where I think United are expected to have more of the possession and be on the front foot, and I definitely want us to create more chances, sustain the ball better, might be a bit difficult for him. Which is weird to say. I think on the ball is his weakest area. So, look, hopefully he can build on that performance from last week, because I thought he did really, really well against Newcastle. And, look, the only way is up for him, really, isn't it?
What might actually help Ugarte is actually the defenders who are going to be behind him, because sometimes what we expect is the ball to start off here and then go into the midfield, and then obviously the midfielders work the ball into the attack. But if we've got two defenders or two centre-backs that are actually really good on the ball, then we might actually be able to, I guess, almost bypass Ugarte with, let's say, Martinez or with Aiden Heaven and you know, those kind of players who are great passing of the ball, and they can kind of also almost fill in for this position, whereas Ugarte wouldn't need to do that. So going into the two centre-backs, for me, I'm going to say one player, Martinez has to be in it.
We both know who the centre-backs are.
Go on.
It's Aiden Heaven and Martinez.
Fair enough.
and do you know what? Look, Delay is just been. I'm so gutted he's been injured because I think he was on course to be player of the season. And look, if he comes back, he can still get that. Do you know what I mean? But if them two play like they did against Newcastle for a sustainable period of games, it'll be tough to displace any of them. I thought it was one game, but they were both fantastic against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
10-10. Honestly, I don't think... Yeah, he got man of the match, actually. I think it was Dawes.
Aiden Heaven got man of the match.
Aiden Heaven got man of the match, yeah. So, I mean, I'm so happy with how Aiden Heaven's done, because I remember the first game he actually started, and it was the Wolves game, the last time he played Wolves, which wasn't that too long ago. And a lot of people were very, I guess, not critical, but nervous, I guess, as to how well he would do. And I think he did start off a bit nervy. I mean, we got a yellow card pretty much straight away, but since then, I thought there was a West Ham, was it a West Ham game? Well, one of those games anyway. I think it was a West Ham game where he kind of started off a bit nervy, but since then, I feel like he's not put a foot wrong. And I think he's actually shown his ability, especially last game, he was playing on the right. A lot of people were like, oh, left footer on the right, is he going to be able to do the same thing? And he got man of the match. So it kind of just goes to show that his ability is way higher than probably a lot of people expected. And I feel like today you probably have, again, another man of the match game. So Aiden Heaven, Lisandro Martinez, probably going to be the captain today. He's made a huge difference into the team. Another player that I've been waiting to see get back into this team, whether it's as a left-sided centre-back in two or as a free as well. I feel like Martinez, I mean, speaking obviously before about the passing through the midfield, he is going to be that player that can really thread the ball into those lines and start the attacks with how great he is on the ball. So those two for me are crucial today, and they could probably be our two best players on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Wolves don't threaten us that much, but
I think they could even going forward, they're going to be important as well.
They are.
Going forward, they're going to be really important.
Both excellent on the ball, like you said.
Yeah. But going on to our last few players, I mean, let me just put his name in.
It's not even a debate.
Let me just put his name in. We know what he can do. Top player for us. But the two fullbacks, I guess, same names as well, Diogo Dalot and Luke Shaw. But I want you to talk a little bit about Dalot, actually. Do you feel like we're almost seeing a new Dalot over the last, I guess, 6-7 games? I feel like he's been a lot better compared to how he started the season.
Yeah, I mean, he started the season pretty poorly, so he had to get better. With Dalot, I just think he's inconsistent. Like, he can have such a good game, but then he can have a game where he drops off. Like, I thought he really kind of stitched Yoro up in that Aston Villa game. But then last game, I thought he did well. And then the game before the Villa game, I thought he did really well. So he's kind of like that for me, Diogo Dalot. Definitely prefer him on the right. And I hope today he kicks on, because he seems to be one of Ruben Amorim's key players. He really likes him. And I think when Dalot is fully at the races, he's a good player, but he's just not fully at the races every single week. So with Dalot, I've kind of just come to accept, he'll always be okay, but I want to see a bit more from him. Yeah,
I feel like we can get more of him, considering that he wasn't too long ago one of our better players. I think he won our Player of the Year or something like that. So he has reached definitely a high level, and he's playing at right now. And it's not like he's old, it's not like he's in his late 30s or something. He can definitely still get back to that level. But I mean, go on, I feel like you got something to say.
Just a shout out, Jordan is with Caesar. His first Man United game, Jordan's son's first Man United game. They go into the game at Old Trafford, and he just messaged me to say he's listening in. So shout out to Jordan and Caesar, because hopefully you bring us good luck. Can be 3 points and a really good game. So
big shout out to Jordan. You guys know Jordan anyway. He's been on the show all the time. So everyone give a big shout out to Jordan, and also Caesar as well in the chat. But look, I mean, that's our predicted team. Is there anybody else you feel like could, I guess, on the bench, could be a change that Amorim might put in the team?
Only one really is Fletcher. He played 45 minutes against Newcastle. Xerxes, potentially. Apparently, Sekou Kone has made the squad. Whether he makes the bench is a different story, but he's made the squad, and you were talking about him only last week, Maud, saying that we could do with a player like him.
I had to bring him in, and all of a sudden now, I'm not joking, I'm not going to act like it's because of me, but everybody who's watched him and seen the clips of him and whatnot, everyone agrees the same thing. He's a talented, super talented player. Maybe he's not physically built out to play in the Premier League yet. Obviously, that's something that you kind of have to grow into. That's time, really, that's going to take to really prove that. But I've said already, I think he deserves to at least get a shot at being in the squad. Maybe not start, obviously, but at least just be around the first team, being playing obviously Old Trafford is a big thing as well. So even if he gets a little 5 minutes at the end of the game, I think it'd be huge for him as well.
Absolutely huge, and he looks like a player. So yeah, it's exciting that some of the academy players are kind of coming into it and getting a little bit of a nod from Ruben Amorim. And if Lacey does start, all we can say is let's hope we see the player that we know he can be, and everyone will be behind him no matter what happens. So we are super excited to see that. Just from some of you guys following along on our Instagram at the United Stand TV, if you want to go and get involved, head over to Instagram and follow us on there. Cunha will score tonight. 92% of you say he will, 8% of you say he won't. And in terms of back four for the whole game, or Amorim will change it during the game, 53% think he'll change it during the game, 47% think it'll be for the whole game, and same front three as last week or change it up. 81% said same front three and 19% said change it up. I think the only reason Amorim has changed it up is because Mount is out. So yeah, that's some of your predictions over on the Instagram. Do you think Cunha's going to score, Mords? Yeah,
I mean, I thought we were going to win 4-5, 6-7-0. So I think my actual prediction was 7-0, but I'm going to bring it down to 4 just to be humble. But look, I mean, moving on, one of the things that we always do, and this kind of links into what we're doing here, but we always talk about our hot takes of the week. There might even be some hot takes today. Shay Lacey might score. That's another hot take. Maybe that could be one. But what we like to do every single week is show and speak to you guys about hot takes. Now, if you don't know what hot take is, it's your wildest, honest, most truthful opinion that you guys send to us every week, and then me and Beth discuss it. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you our hot take of the week.
Okay, the next one is a spicy one. And it is that with Bruno now out injured, we actually might see a Manchester United managed by Amorim.
That's strange. What have you seen so far then?
I think what they're basically implying is that
he takes over the team.
A manager is forced to have Bruno Fernandes in his team no matter what, and that's why he's playing him. I don't agree with this. This is a theory by some people in the fan base that Bruno has to play no matter what, and the manager's not allowed to not play him, etc., etc. I don't believe it. I think Bruno Fernandes plays because he's an excellent player, an excellent person, and a very good captain. People will disagree with that. That's my interpretation. I don't think it's a coincidence that every manager that's come into the football club has played him for near enough every minute of every game when they've had the opportunity to do so. I agree, he absolutely needs to be subbed off a few times, you know, more than what he has been, and Man Utd deserves minutes there. I agree with that.
Amorim wants Bruno. Like, it's not like
he convinced him to stay in the summer.
Like, Amorim said, I don't want 100 mil. I want to keep Bruno for at least another year or however long till his contract's finished. So
he wanted the transition, I think, of his new team with a leader that's been here for multiple years to kind of handle that transition. I think he just wanted him there for the transition period.
Yeah, and also we're also given a bit of an excuse to say that Amorim isn't telling Bruno what to do as well. Because I get it, Bruno likes to do his own thing, but Amorim must also be telling him to do certain things in the team. I mean, Bruno has said that his role is to give the ball to the 10s, or his role is to be creative, and that's an instruction from the manager. So you can obviously give blame to Bruno for certain things, but he's also just being managed by the manager. He's doing instructions that the manager telling him to do.
Do you know?
Hot take that a lot of people do share. Like I said in our hot takes video, I don't agree with it. But you know what? Without Bruno for one game, we've got 3 points. Hopefully the team can start to believe that they can get these wins, they can have good performances without him. He makes us better, and I genuinely do believe he does make us better. But we don't want to be over-reliant on him. We want to be able to get wins without him. I mean, we spoke on the show last week. Cole Palmer was out for ages for Chelsea. They still got wins, yet he's their best player. We want to be the same. We don't want to be a one-man team. We want everyone to step up. And that was the whole point of buying the likes of Cunha as well. Yeah,
like I said, we spoke about it before, I don't think you can have a long-term success with just having one player who's a reason for your success. I'm trying to think of one season in the Premier League where one player was genuinely the only reason, not the only reason, but one of the main reasons. I'd probably say the Van Persie season, and that's it. No, that's probably the only season that I think of where if we didn't have Van Persie, I don't think we would have won the league. But other than that, every other season, there's multiple players that play huge parts in the reason why that team won the league. I mean, look at, you mentioned Cole Palmer. Saka was injured for half the season for Arsenal, and they still ended up finishing second. But he still had a great season, still won quite a few games. So even though he was probably their main player, their best player, they still managed to survive without him. So yeah, I think even though I am a big fan of Bruno, and I think we are a better team with him, if we can still continue to win games without him, it kind of even helps him probably to relieve that pressure, so he doesn't have to be the main guy every single game.
That's exactly why they went and got the likes of Madueke as well, so you have that.
Yeah.
And last season we didn't have anyone to do that. This season we've got Cunha, we've got Mbeumo. Yes, he's away at AFCON, but that's why you've got both of them.
Yeah.
That's why you brought two of them in, and people were questioning that. Shaheen says, are we sure it'll be a 4-2-3-1? I mean, you don't know with Amram now. Eddie Howe got caught out. We might get caught out.
Yeah.
So we don't 100% know whether it will be a 4-2-3-1, but based on the fact he did it last game, we just kind of rolled with it. Ian O'Connell says, hi Beth, my dad met you outside Old Trafford before the Newcastle game. Hope you all had a great Christmas and Happy New Year from Ireland. Ian, I remember meeting your dad. He was lovely. Thank you very much. I hope the same to you and your family as well. Jack Davis, every opportunity to kick on, we F up, mind. Yeah, we have done. I mean, how many times have we said, if we win this game, we're going to be in the top 4. If we win this game, we're going to be in the top 5. We could be on track for Champions League football. Look, we're on the same points as Chelsea, so we've just got to keep trying to kick on. Everyone's beating everyone currently.
Yeah.
Team news is in, Mordzs.
Is it in?
Team news is in. I am going.
Get it right. If we get it right, that's big.
Right. Lacey doesn't start.
Oh.
So, United frenzy, get
out.
Get out of here. Look, he took an opportunity to try and.
It made it more interesting.
Yeah.
So we rate that. It's a nice hot take.
We did say it was a rumour. We said it was a rumour. But Lacey does not start for Manchester United. He's on the bench though, so we might get some minutes. Look, our starting 11 is as followed. You have Lamens in goal. You have Dalot, Martinez, Cunha, Xerxes, Dorgu, Casemiro, Shaw, Ugarte, Heaven and Sesko. So that's just reading it out from the Manchester United team news. In order, we have it here. So what it is it's Joshua Xerxes replacing Mason Mount. So it is Lamens, Martinez, Yoro, Shaw, Dalot, wait. I've just been sent the wrong team news there. It's someone's tweeted it out that it's Yoro, but it's not. Sorry, I've just been sent 2 different versions of the team news. Right, in order, it's Lamens in goal. Yeah. It is Dalot right back, Martinez and Heaven, Luke Shaw left back, midfield 2 of Casemiro and Ugarte, and then you've got 4-2, 3 across the middle as Dorgu, Cunha and Xerxes, and then you have Sesko up front. So Xerxes like the number 10.
And then Cunha's off the left?
Yeah. That's the way it is. Did you get that?
Are you sure it's not 3 at the back?
It could be 3 at the back, but I'm going off the way we played last game. Okay. Because the only change is Xerxes in.
I just don't see Xerxes playing
as a 10.
Yeah.
Who knows? It might. If you could do it as a 3 at the back, but then you'd have the 3 at the back as Shaw, Martinez, and Heaven. Yeah. And then you'd have wing backs of Dalot and Dorgu. Yeah. And then you'd have your 2 midfielders as Casemiro and Ugarte. You'd have your 2 10s as Cunha and Xerxes, and then Sesko up front.
That sounds like an Amarim team.
It does. It really does just depend. I think it'll be interesting to see how we line up in the game. I reckon it'll be a back 4, you know. Okay. I really do reckon it'll be a back 4, but get in the comments down below what you guys think it is. I am going to be straight off the bat and say I'm really kind of frustrated Xerxes starting. And I hope Xerxes has a good game because, look, I want every single United player when they're playing for United to have a good game. And I've advocated for Xerxes to play more minutes for Manchester United. But when he played against Newcastle, I do not think you should reward that performance with a start.
You think it's that bad?
I thought it was poor. I really thought it was poor. And he's about to seal a move to Roma. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather see a player that is going to be committed to playing for United for the whole season.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I didn't think he was that bad. Maybe we look at it differently, innit? But I don't know, man. I didn't think he was that bad to be like, you can't play again. But I think, you know what it is? End of the day, we're not really in a position to kind of be holding players off the pitch. You know, be saying, oh, you shouldn't play because you move into Rome in the next couple of weeks. I think we really have to utilise everyone that we have because we don't know when we're going to get all our players back. So I think Amrin's probably thinking, look, even though you are going to Roma, like we do actually need players to play. So you're going to have to play today's game. And obviously, you didn't, I don't know the last time you even started a game. When was the last time you started a game? I can't remember. So yeah, I'm not too sure.
In terms of the bench, it is Bayndé, Fredrickson, Malacia, Yoro, Jack Fletcher, Tyler Fletcher, Lacey, Mantato and Obi. So Chido Obi is on the bench. So Kone hasn't made the bench. He's made the squad, but not the bench. Because sometimes you have players in the squad to fill in the bench if anyone gets injured in the warm-up and stuff, don't you?
Wait, what? I'm so confused.
Because you take a squad and then not every single member of the squad makes the bench.
I don't think that's how it works.
No, it is. Because I've seen in the past that if someone gets injured in the warm-up, then...
Oh, so you mean like he's a reserve player?
Yeah, he's a reserve.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, he's a reserve.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
So he's not on the bench, but the fact he's in the matchday squad is a step in the right direction.
He's around at least.
I mean, from that substitutes bench, there is literally zero experience apart from Yoro. And that is it. Yoro, Bayndé and Malacia are the only senior players on that bench. And Malacia, I mean, no words needed. Bayndé is a keeper and Yoro is, a centre-back option. Yeah. So Yoro's kind of like the senior member of that bench.
I remember one time we had that same thing, and it was like Lindelof was your only senior member, and we had like 6 or 7, probably like about 6 players. They were all kids as well last season, but end of the day, he's going to have to use his subs at one point. I doubt he's going to play all of the whole game without making any subs other than Euro. So we should be able to see a couple more of the young players get into today's game, and hopefully they come into a game where we are dominating, we do have more of the ball, and it's a bit more of a comfortable environment to play in instead of, let's be honest, the Newcastle game was a difficult game to come into. I think even Jack Fletcher said himself that it was a lot of running. So hopefully if they do get to play today, they can show a bit more of the talent because it's going to be a bit more of an easier game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we are going to be joined by Wolves fan Dave soon, so we can see what he thinks about the Wolves team and the United team and everything like that. I think it'll be really interesting to get his insight. And we're not the only game that's playing tonight. There's other games across the Premier League, but there's also other games across the Premier League this match week. It's Man United fight to get into them top 5 spots. And there was going to be watch-alongs on That's Football. So Goldbridge is doing the Liverpool versus Leeds watch-along, 5:30 on Thursday, so New Year's Day. Liverpool versus Leeds, that'll be a great one because we want Liverpool to drop points really in that game because we're in a race for the top 4 with them. So that'll be on That's Football. Make sure you tune into that on New Year's Day at 5:30. And then also on Thursday, straight after that, 8 p.m, Sunderland versus Man City. That's another cracking game. So that's going to be at the Stadium of Light. Make sure you're watching that on That's Football. So make sure you go over there, subscribe to That's Football and watch out for them watch-alongs on New Year's Day. Yeah,
should be really good. I mean, today I'm going to be looking around during this United game because I really want to see who wins in this Arsenal Villa game. It's going to be really interesting.
I mean, I want to run a poll in the live comments right now. Who would you have rather have seen start for Manchester United in today's game, Lacey or Xerxes? I just want to see something. Do you think from Amrin's point of view, he's thinking Xerxes got experience, and if I leave Xerxes on the bench for Lacey, who's barely even kicked a minute for United yet, that might be a bit of a bad luck to the player. What do you think Amrin's thoughts are with it?
I mean, like I said before, I definitely don't think it's based off last game. I don't think he's just saying, not like it's based off last game. I don't think he's thinking of Xerxes' form or all these kind of things and whatnot, or even like the other players. I think he's really just looking at it and saying, look, we need all of our players to be useful in these games. End of the day, we played Wolves last game, and even though we did win, let's be honest, there were parts of that game where we weren't looking too comfortable, especially like in the second half. To start the second half, there were games where Wolves were trying to actually attack us and they were actually creating some chances. So, I mean, they scored. So I think he is just thinking, look, Xerxes is a better player because he's a more experienced player and he's obviously played more. So I just want to play my more experienced players, my better players in this kind of game just to make sure that we do actually win.
One thing I will say as well is Sesko is playing, and Xerxes is usually better when he's playing off the striker. Against Newcastle, where I thought it's the worst I've ever seen him play in the United shirt, genuinely.
You think it was the worst you've seen Xerxes play?
Yeah. Did you not watch that game? He didn't win a single ball.
Well, fair enough. I
thought he was so poor in that game. Maybe I'm being harsh. I mean, what do you guys think?
Fair enough.
I thought he was terrible when he came on. Absolutely terrible. And look, I think Xerxes actually Like in certain games, when you get the ball into his feet, I think he can be really good. I've wanted him to get more game time, but I'm going to say what I see. I thought in that game he was terrible. But when he's playing off the striker, like off Sesko, and he gets the ball into his feet, I think he's a lot better. So that might benefit him in today's game, which could help him. I mean, get your votes in the poll that's running the live chat. Who do you wish started tonight versus Wolves? You've got Xerxes and Lacey there. Get your super chats in. We also have a live Q&A going as we speak. Put questions in there for me and Mordzs to answer at the end of the show. Get the juiciest questions in that you can get. Keep them football related or New Year related and get them in for us as well. Thank you everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. But look, it's time to introduce our Wolves fan going to the game as well. We've got Dave from Always Wolves TV. Dave, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for asking us to come in. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoke multiple times before in the past anyway. I mean, previous times we spoke, we've been doing a lot better than they're doing now.
That's the understatement of the year. It's not been great, has it? The last game that we won in the Premier League was April the 26th against Leicester. That was on the back of a 6-game run, which was also a record run for Wolves in the Premier League. And just to back that off, we've decided to get another record by being the worst possible run in the Premier League. 22 games, 18 matches at the start of the season. We've got less points than a triangle and a Toblerone. Other chocolates, of course, you can get. And so this is the last match of the first half of the season. And of course, for the second time in our history and for the third time in United's history, we played the same team in the same month of December. Yeah, I mean, some great stats to bring in there. We were talking earlier in the show because we saw something that Wolves actually have the longest winning streak of 2025 in the Premier League out of any teams. I mean, how has it gone so wrong? Because do you think it's purely the fact that a lot of your players got taken and you didn't replace them properly? I mean, how has it gone so wrong? It's been coming a very, very long time. If you think when Wolves go up, we had the likes of Neves. Of course, we brought in the likes of Jota, rest his soul. And some really, really great players. 2 7th place finishes, a European tour. 11 minutes from an FA Cup final. We still managed to mess that one up. We got to 5th. I think when we were playing Tottenham just before the pandemic, 3-2, we beat Tottenham away. We were dreaming of Champions League, and then the world shuts down because that's the Wolves way. And then we've just gone 10th, 13th, 14th. We've just gone backwards, but it's been mismanaged since then. Selling our best players, which teams do, but over time, if you do not invest to go forward, you go backwards in the Premier League. And this year, it's well and truly caught up with us, of course. Mateus Cunha, Ryan Ait-Nouri, wing back, Nelson Semedo, our captain, Pablo Sarabia, Tommy Doyle's gone out, and there's a lot of first team players from last year that are no longer with us, and we just haven't got the creativity, and we haven't been able to score enough goals, and we've conceded too many. If you do that, you don't win games in the Premier League, and the confidence is completely shot. We've played really well against Villa away. They've scored a worldie. They find ways to win. Against Arsenal, we had them on the ropes. They're running away with the league. We scored 3 goals and still managed to lose. They could score a freak goal for the first one. And then we equalised, got them on the back foot, still managed to score an own goal to lose it. And against Liverpool, 2 goals in a minute, and then we scored and we had them on the back foot. At home, we've been a lot weaker. Of course, you played us not very, very long ago. Joe Gomez was out, suspended for that game. We played quite a high line and you just cut through us, and we were terrible that match. Our away performances have actually been better than at home, and I think that's because at home, the home fans' pressure, we haven't won for so long. So it's just been, I feel like Stranger Things, we've all been watching a bit of that, haven't we? I feel like we're in the upside down, if I'm honest.
I think you gave a great explanation then, but just want to give credit to you because I know you go to all the games. It must be so difficult. Loss after loss. As a fan, you support no matter what, but loss after loss after loss. But you mentioned you've been better away. Have you got hope tonight?
You've always got to go into games with hope, of course. We won 1-0 last year. So we won that game, but obviously it's a very different team. I know that you've got a lot of problems, injuries and things like that, but so have we. We've lost pretty much all our defence. We've got 4 academy kids on the bench. We've got a young 18-year-old who's the one bright spot that's come out this season, Matthias Marno. Look out for him. He's going to have a great future. And it's difficult. Do I have hope? You've got to have hope. You've got to always go in with hope. Things can have. Football is a 90-minute game. Anything can happen. And if we can put the performances like we've done away against Villa, against Arsenal, and against Liverpool for 90 minutes and be more positive, not just sit back and actually try and... Because when we've pressed and we have control games at times, but we haven't done it for a full 90 minutes. But against United, I think we have to start on the front foot and we have to start quick, because United can leak goals. And if you let United play, as we did at Molineux, you can destroy teams. So we've got to be a little bit more braver when we've got the ball, I think.
I want to ask a question about your manager. Now, obviously, you're in a very difficult position anyway. You know you're going to the Championship, pretty much. It's going to be tough for you to, I guess, rack up a lot of points. Does this season kind of feel like just a throwaway for him? Or do you feel like he's still looking for something in Rob Edwards?
Well, it's not the best start to his managerial career at Wolves, of course, losing 7 straight games. There's already pressure from some quarters of the Wolves fan base, as you'd expect. He's been given a 3.5-year contract. I think part of that is on one eye for the Championship. He's got good success in the past with getting teams up. He was doing really well. He got Luton up. He was doing really well with Middlesbrough, of course. But he's unfortunately, I mean, he persisted with Strand Larsen for such a long period of time, and obviously he could have gone in the summer for 60 million. But had we sold him then, there would have probably been a meltdown. It's whether his head's been turned, he's not been quite on it. He hasn't quite got the service. I don't know. He had a penalty in the last home game. He missed that. His confidence is shot. I think most of the fans wanted him taken out of the firing line. He has been, and Tolo, who's come in, he wins a lot of balls in the air. He's very strong. He knocks players around. He holds the ball up a better. He's scored 3 goals this year, 2 of them in the cup. Nearly got a header against Liverpool in the second half. He's a good player, and I think it's right that he's taken Strand Larsen out the firing line. Whether or not they'll cash in on him in the January window or not remains to be seen, because it just doesn't seem to be working for him at the moment.
He seemed to link up well with Mane, that the young teenager you were talking about. I watched the Liverpool Wolves highlights. I've watched a few of your games this season, actually, and them two actually seem to cause a few problems with Liverpool. So I was like, oh, fair.
You want about Tolu and yeah, they are, and they've been players that have not been starting, so they aren't probably as scarred as some of the other players are, because they've been coming on, making an impact, and they've deserved their start. And I've got high hopes for Matthias Marno. He's one of our own. He's come through the academy. The Wolves strapline this year is no fear, and he's the one player that plays with no fear. I mean, he picked the ball up on the halfway line against 4 Liverpool defenders in the first half, took it on, got a shot away just over the bar, couple of shots in. I think in that game against Liverpool, they got as many shots away or shots on target that Strand Larsen has in the whole season so far in that match. Something along those sort of lines, yeah. So it's good. So there are green shoots there, but of course we're on 2 points. We're so far away from the safety zone. It's like, does that take the pressure off a little bit now?
What I did notice as well is, since Rob Edwards has come in as your manager, almost every game since he took over, you've been level at half time.
Yeah.
And then you fall away in the second half. So almost every game.
Apart from the Liverpool game, when we conceded 2 goals in 87 seconds, yeah.
So, and I thought the same, like when you were playing us, like we went in 1-1 and then second half.
We got that goal right at the end of the first half, didn't we? We thought we'd kick on. No, it didn't happen.
I wonder what that is. Is there anything that you can kind of...
Psychological.
Because usually in the second half, as United fans, we come out slow, sluggish. Like against Newcastle last game, I don't know if you watched the game, we were a game of 2 halves, and that we come out the second half, we often concede pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one, isn't it?
This is why I say I think if we really got to take it to United tonight and get on the front foot, because there is vulnerabilities there, especially with a much changed team. You know, you've got real quality players because you've got so much depth, but they haven't all played together. So there is an opportunity there. If you let them settle into the game, let United settle into the game and boss it around, then it'll probably end up being the same result. Now, I'd like to see us being a little bit more offensive from the start of games and actually trying to take the game and get in front, and then it's a different problem because we're always having to come from behind or chase games, and I think it's a psychological thing as well, because when you haven't won for so long and you level at half time and you're going in, the other teams know that. They know that there's frailties and vulnerabilities there, and then there must be something psychological. We need to win a game of football somehow. If we hit something, it goes off the back of someone's backside, floats over, hits the post, trickles along the line, bounces out, hits the goalie on the back of the head and goes in. Something that we need a little bit of fortune, because when you're down the bottom, all these little decisions, all these little moments go against us, such as like the Arsenal game. We need a little bit of go in our favour. If we can get in front, then they have to be brave and not just try and shut up shop, because we've tried that as well. And then if you play it and let teams, really come on at you, you're still vulnerable. But I'm looking at our defence tonight. It's much changed again. But you've always got to go with hope, haven't you? We'll win again. Don't know where, don't know when. Maybe tonight.
Sorry.
I was going to ask, you mentioned the Arsenal game, you mentioned the Liverpool game. I guess they were probably your better games of the season. But in those games, do you not feel like you played a different way to how you just described, but you probably sat back a little bit more? Do you not think you should be kind of going with that motion instead of going with the whole, let's just go at United and see if we can actually beat them on
I just think we've got to start fast. Like what Beth just said there is United can start slow, so that gives us an opportunity to get on the front foot. And when Wolves have got on the front foot like we did against Arsenal for the last 20 minutes, like we did against Liverpool in the whole of the second half, it was pretty much all Wolves, bottom of the table, haven't had a win. They were hanging on, literally hanging on. We've done better crosses. There's one great cross that Arias was in, and it was a good defensive block. And we just couldn't get that second goal against, against Arsenal, against Villa. When we've done that, we can play football, and we have got some people, but you've got to be a little bit braver. If you're scared to play and you're just playing side to side all the time, just trying to, you will get caught by these teams eventually. You just can't defend for 90 odd minutes. If we can get in front, you've got something then to hold on to, and then you can hit on the counter. So at this point in the season, those tactics necessarily haven't been working. So I think it might surprise United if we come out a little bit faster tonight, because they might be expecting us to sit with a low block.
Interesting stuff. I'll be excited to see what happens. But I also want to ask you about Matheus Cunha, because he is starting tonight for Manchester United, and he's been a little bit hit and miss for United, but overall you can see he's such a diamond of a player, like so strong, so quick, good on the ball, and he's already, I think, a fan favourite for a lot of people, and I think United fans feel like this is a game where he could really kind of kick on, especially against his old club. I mean, how does it feel for you to play against Cunha tonight? Because he's often been like the star guy against United for Wolves in the past for you guys.
He's a super talent. There's no two ways about it. The way he can run with the ball and carry the ball. Obviously, he hasn't had probably the start that he would have wanted at United. I think he's got a goal and a couple of assists now. He picked up that injury as well, didn't he? But when he was at Wolves, it took him about 8 months to settle in, and then he really started firing. He's a super talented guy. He's a really great player. He's very versatile. He's very, very passionate with what he does. And obviously, I wish he was still playing for us. I wish we had some of the players. If we had him and some of those players from last year, or we replaced them well, then we wouldn't be in this position. So he's obviously going to be a danger tonight. I'm sure he'd love to get a goal against Wolves, and hopefully we can keep him quiet.
I mean, also João Gomez is someone I wanted to talk about, because he's been linked to us recently.
We've talked about this before, me and you. Remember when we've had a couple of phone calls about that?
Yeah, we have. I told you I do my research, guys. Yeah. My research was Dave, because he watches him play every single week. But João Gomez, we've been linked to him for ages now. Do you think he'd be a good addition for United? Do you think he'd be ready for that step up? Or
João Gomez is a super fantastic player. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. The one thing about Gomez, he plays like a leader on the pitch. He'll pick up a few cards and things like that because he goes in for the tackles. He's passionate about winning the ball back, and he always gives his all. So if you want a player that like always gives his all and has got real quality. Defensively, as a defensive midfielder, he's great. Where Wolves have struggled and where we really struggled in the summer, we never really got the creativity, the attacking midfielders in. So when we've had Joe Gomez in there, he's very solid, but we're much more defensively sound when we've got Gomez and Andre playing together. As you say, at the last game, Gomez was suspended, we had Andre. This time it's the other way around. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Wolves line up tonight. I've seen the team. It could either be a three of Doherty, Yerson Mosquera and Krejci, who can play in midfield, which is the normal back three, what we try and play, or it potentially could be a back four because Krejci can also play in the middle of the park, because otherwise Joe Gomez is in the middle on his own with possibly, I think, Arias and Mane just playing in front of him. So it's going to be really interesting to see, with the changes that we've had to make, how we line up to start with tonight. Maybe that 5 can go to 4, and we've got to get the wing backs on. We've got Jackson Chachua that's on there. He's the fastest player in the league. He's super fast. But a lot of the time he cuts in and doesn't go past his man. We need to be able to get past United and get crosses in, because Arakaderi, Tolu is so good in the air, he's so strong, and we need to get into that. And I expect Strand Larsen will come on with around about 25 minutes to go and add extra height in there.
I want to ask your opinion on United. So we've got a whole bunch of players out of our team today. Bruno and Bumo, Ahmad, De Ligt, Mainu, all these guys out. Mount. Don't forget Mount as well, Mazraoui. Which player do you feel like is our biggest loss?
Well, it's the... was it Fernandes?
Yeah, Fernandes.
Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno, yeah, for definite, because like he's just United through and through. He's like leads the line when he can make something happen out of nothing. Some of the passes that he can make, some of the goals that he can score. I think he's a very big loss. I do love the young lad, Kobe Mano, is it? I think he is. Free Kobe Mano and bring him over to Wolves on loan for the rest of the season. He could get some game time. That would be good.
See how he does with Joe Gomez.
Yeah, we've got, because I think in the January window, Wolves are going to have one eye on the Championship, but there might be some Premier League players that we can bring in that aren't getting much game time that would go and get some game time at Wolves, and love to have someone like him because he's quite offensive, he's good in the midfield, and he's not playing as much as what I thought he would be playing at United, because you've got such an array of talent in the middle. But obviously you've got a lot out, but this time of season when there's so many games coming thick and fast, you pick up injuries, you pick up suspensions, AFCON's come, like you say, you've got 3 out, we've got 2 out as well. It's difficult, but I think you've just got that much more depth than us. As I say, we've got like real kids on the bench, like 4 of them on the bench, and you got
our whole bench is kids tonight. Trust me.
As well, it could be. I mean, we said you can't win anything with kids, and what did Alex Ferguson go and do all them years ago when he won the league? Yeah. So but sometimes when you've got young players come on and they get an opportunity like this, they go out with no fear and they grasp it because they aren't scarred. And I'm hoping that pays well for us tonight.
We've got a few quick fire questions to finish off, because we know we've got to get in the game safely.
Yeah. It's 8:15 tonight to start as well. It's really late, isn't it? Yeah.
Proper late one. First one is, what Wolves player should United fans be watching for? Who do you think your best player is on the pitch tonight?
Obviously Joe Gomez, but you haven't seen him before, probably watched him. Watch young Mane, because he is super positive. He'll try and get a shot at, he'll run, and he can cause problems. So I'm really excited to see him again tonight. So have a look out for him. And Tolu as well, up front, he's starting as well. So he can be really strong in the air. I expect him to win a lot of headers, bring the ball down, hopefully bring in the other players into play, and maybe score. He can finish, he's composed finisher. So if he gets in, he'll score.
And then if you could take one United player and put them in your team, who would it be?
Konya. For everything, I'd have. If he wants to score an own goal for us tonight, we'll welcome it, no problem.
Do you know what's funny? When we had the Brentford fan on last time, he said he'd taken Bumo as well. So
if he was still here, we wouldn't. We probably would be in a lot better position.
And then score prediction.
Okay, because it's Christmas. And we haven't won since April, and we're in the upside down, but hopefully we were opening the wormhole. We're going to get out. I'm going to just put my neck out and go. I think back-to-back away wins United 1, Wolves 2, but that's more in hope because we go into every game. You've got to believe you can win.
No, you do.
I can't bet against my
respect
team. 2-1 to Wolves. And maybe you'll score an own goal for us because we've scored a lot for other teams. It's our turn.
You know what? I respect that so much. And apart from tonight, we're all for United tonight. I really hope that in the next game that you are, you do get a win. And
we've got West Ham next.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah,
do
after this.
you know what? If anyone will give you a chance, it'll be us. I mean, West Ham drew at Old Trafford not long ago, but look, we have got a decimated team. I've got to say, I think United will win it, but I respect you for backing your own team. And look, you've been absolutely amazing. It's been great to have you on. It's been good to catch up. And enjoy the game. Enjoy the rest of the season. Not tonight, but next game, you can get some points and hopefully start to kick on.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
really
brilliant.
nice
Great
to see
meet
you. Nice to see you. Yeah.
All the best.
Nice to see you. All the best. Great to see you in person for sure. Look, Mordzs, another fantastic guest.
Yeah.
And I rate him so much, even though even though his team has 2 points, he's still gone with it. A Wolves win.
Yeah, I mean, 2 points is difficult. I'm trying to think, like, as a United fan, if we were ever in that position, like, what would it feel like? But sometimes you've got to give it to these fans that are, you know, the fans of clubs that are obviously doing super difficult. You know, these teams that are in relegation battles. I mean, it's even tough to even say they're in a relegation battle, but
they're not in a battle.
yeah, they're just there, innit? They're just rock bottom. But to see that they actually have supporters that are through and through, still sticking by the team. He's still being positive. He's still telling us about their best players, and he's still giving them a win as a prediction. So you got to give respect to them and give credit to the fan base.
I mean, he's gone with a 2-1 Wolves win. What are you going with?
I'm going with 4-0.
Going 4-0.
Going 4-0. I did say 7. I did say 7, but I thought, let me just be kind, yeah? Let me just be a little bit more kind to Wolves and give them, we'll say 4. Just boost the goal difference and try and get as high as we can.
I'm going with a 3-0 win.
3-0.
3-0 win.
Are you being humble, or do you believe?
Cunha, Sesko and Dorgy.
Okay.
That is my 3-0 prediction. But look, earlier tonight, we were outside Old Trafford to ask you guys your score prediction.
Do you know what? I reckon 3-1, nice win. Cunha's going to be back on the score sheet and he's going to upset the Wolves fan.
3-0. 4-0.
3-0 United.
4-1 United.
4-1. 5-1.
5-1.
3-0. 2-1. 4-0. 4-0. 5-0. 3-0. 3-0 Man United.
I'm saying 3-0 too, yeah.
3-1. Sesko, 2 goals for Sesko, and I think Heaven is
solid 3-0.
Yeah. Who's scoring?
Cunha 2 and Shea Lacey.
We won 4-1 at Wolverhampton, so it's gotta be a 4-0, and I hope for a hat-trick for my brother. Šeško, he's my Yugoslav brother.
I love that. Where will United finish in the Premier League in 2026?
If Amorim stays till the end of the season, we'll finish 9th or 10th. If we have another manager, we'll finish 5th or 4th.
I reckon, do you know what? I reckon we'll get top 5, Champions League.
5th, I hope.
4th or 5th?
4th or 3rd. 4th. 2nd.
I love that.
3rd. 2nd. 1st.
Right, I want what all of you guys are drinking. I would love that. Thank you so much. Okay.
I think 4th.
I hope top 4, but it's difficult, you know, but I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, if I have high hopes, I think we're gonna be 5th.
United are the team for me. Nobody would build a land. Why don't City
So cute. Shout out to them lads, honestly. So cute. And shout out to the guy who said we're going to come second. Love that.
Some of the kids said first?
Do you know what? They must have had a lot of apple juice today.
Yeah, strong apple juice.
I rate that so much. Oh, just love it.
That was a nice one though.
There's so many kids going to the game today.
Yeah.
United. You better turn up for the kids, honestly. I mean, Jordan's taking Caesar, Ricky's taking his grandson Freddie to the game.
I think everyone's just thinking,
Christmas presents, isn't it?
What's the best game to take the kids to?
Where can we get a win that the kids can see a win and maybe
guarantee a win for the kids and some goals, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, but some really positive score predictions all round. But look, you guys have been getting your questions in. We also asked, do you know what? I'll go through this first because I mean, we've got some questions coming in from YouTube that we're going to get through, but I put on Instagram, if you could ask Ruben Amorim one question and he had to answer 100% honestly, look, you're having a drink with Ruben Amorim, New Year's Eve, in a room, goes no further, one question you could ask him, what would it be? Have you got one?
Oh, I can think of one though. Have you got one already?
I mean, we've got ones that people sent in that I wanted to kind of share with the group, share with you guys listening at home. So, one of them, which I thought was a really interesting one, is when do you honestly think we can see Manchester United in a title race?
That's a good question. I mean, it's not for me to answer, innit? It's for Ruben to answer.
No, it's for Ruben to answer.
Yeah.
I mean, as a fan, when would you want to see it?
I mean, as a fan.
But realistically. Like, realistically.
You can't ask me them kind of questions. I'll say next season, me. As a fan, though, obviously, if I was just going to like take my fan base, my fan pride or bias out of it, honestly, it would be. I'll have to say maybe not next season, but the season after or the season after that. Latest the season after that. I think if we can go next season, have a good season. The season after that, if we can at least be in a good top 4 race, we should be able, based on how the other teams are doing, then you never know. If you're in a top 4 race, you never know. You could end up in a title race by accident. So I think, the season after next season, if we continue to improve and grow, that's where I want to see it. But as a fan, next season, let's go. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I rate that so highly. I would love to see that. Like I said, next season, I expect us to be doing what Villa's doing. That might be bold, but pushing.
So you expect us to do it?
Pushing the two teams that are going to be in a title race, because I still expect, City and Arsenal to probably be in a title race again next season. I don't know if Liverpool will be able to step up to the plate then, but I want United to be doing what Villa are doing, really, really pushing, and at least maybe thinking it could be likely. And I don't think that's too much to ask, but if we recruit properly in the summer, then that should be a realistic aim for Manchester United. Look, we spoke to Luke Shaw at the start of the season. He said it should be the goal for United every single year, every single season to be in a title race and win the Prem. Look, we're not there yet. Rome wasn't built in a day. It's a process. But if we if we get top 4 or Champions League football this year, we recruit properly in the summer, then we should be pushing to at least, I think we should be pushing 3rd. And then the year after that, I expect a full-on title race. So next year's what, 26, 27? 27, 28 is when I expect a title race.
But the only thing is one, you really have to look at the other teams as well, because sometimes you just never know who's going to do really well. You look at Liverpool, everyone probably thought they were going to run away with the title this year, and they've obviously dropped down a little bit. So it's like, I expect us to be in the conversation for Champions League definitely next year and the year after that. But also, you have to also understand, to win a title, you have to kind of get over a hump. Like, look at Arsenal. Arsenal had to get over so many hurdles to get to this point where they're actually the favourites I guess one of the favourites at least for the title. Liverpool, how many years did it take for them? They were in Champions League finals before they ended up winning their title. City, City, whatever. But, it takes sometimes, you have to lose sometimes before you get to that point where you actually go and win, and you need that experience in your players before you go and win that title. So maybe it might take one title race first for us to lose and then we go and win. But I'm giving it, like I said, 2 years, 2 seasons before we should be at least in them conversations.
Interesting stuff. And do you know what? If someone told me that was absolutely going to happen, I would lock in and start trusting the process. Look, do you know what's mad? We've had 7,000 votes on our would you have wanted Xerxes or Lisi to start in replacement of Mason Mount on our YouTube. Guess what the result is?
I'm assuming everyone wants Lacey to start.
It's 50-50. 50-50 after 7,000 votes. Crazy stuff. I mean,
insane.
Interesting stuff. Look, Ruben Amorim, he's tuning in. He said, I'm not joking. When we were on the forum last week, I said about Dorgu, playing further forward and having more freedom. And then Amorim says it in his presser. Look, he probably even said it before I said it, but you know what it is. And he said this about Xerxes today. He said, he needs to step up in the duels because the rest, he has that. He just needs to do his job and have fun. So he's saying he has the rest, but in duels, he doesn't win a single ball. Well, he didn't say he didn't win a single ball, but he's saying he has to step up. This is probably against Newcastle. Look, I know there was 2 defenders. I know there was basically no outlet and everyone was dead on their feet, but he just lost duel after duel after duel after duel. He needs to do that today. It's going to be a bit easier with Sesko up there. He usually, wins a few more. He can maybe be the guy that's kind of winning the second ball and having it into his feet. But that's something he really needs to step up and do today, Joshua Xerxes. But it's interesting. I mean, we've got some super chats in from you guys as well. A lot of you guys backing Xerxes, which is nice to see, backing the players in the comments. We've got Quantum saying, do players have minutes played in their contracts? I mean, I doubt it. I honestly doubt it. Majral Weewa says, I think Xerxes' worst was last year when he got subbed off at like the 20th minute. Yeah, maybe actually that one. That was terrible. Marlin says, just tuning in, and they're going to play a back four. We don't know yet. We're assuming they are, but we don't 100% know. We've got Free Kobe Mainu. We've got Ramazan saying, I actually played against the Wolves assistant coach, Harry Watling, when he managed Hartford Athletic in the US. Good to see he's made it into the Premier League. Nice one, that's interesting. Class of 99 says, players aren't robots, can't treat them anyway and expect it not to affect their performance. Xerxes been treated poorly and not given a consistent run, therefore he won't be sharp. I get that point, but you've also, you know, you do have to have a bit of consistency to build your game up, but, you know, there's like building your game up and then there's just not playing well. I think he tried. I don't know what it is. When he had a consistent run at the back end of last season, I thought he did really well, though, so you could be onto something. Shahin says, to be fair, the whole team in the second half was horrific. Look, thank you, everyone, for getting your super chats in. I mean, another question that was put in our Instagram of ones that he'd asked Ruben Amorim is, how close were you to quitting when it was bad last season?
That's a very good question.
I apparently had to get talked out of quitting.
Is that what you heard?
Yeah, after the Brighton game. You know, when we lost at Old Trafford?
Yeah, we lost quite a few.
Also, you know, there's ones like, is the club fully backing you, or is the job impossible without billions? Would you change the formation for the rest of the season? Really interesting ones. What would yours be for Amorim? One question.
It depends on what angle I want to go. I might ask him, what's your biggest regret since joining United? And I'd be interested to see, like, if it was playing certain players, if it was getting rid of certain players, if it was, I guess, saying certain things in interviews or certain decisions to me. I just really want to know what his biggest regret would have been so far since joining United.
That's a good one. I think I'd ask him for his true opinion on Kobe Mainu if he genuinely sees a future for him in this team.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other ones I'd ask him.
I'm trying to think of what his answer would be. That's why,
I'd also ask him, like, does he think it's possible to win a Premier League with the current setup and ownership? There's loads you could ask him. I mean, get in the comments. What would yours be? Also, have some questions from you guys coming in from our Q&A that I will get to quick fire in a second. Zeus says, Ugarte scoring a worldie today. Yeflo says, going in a month to Old Trafford from LA, how early do you recommend getting to the stadium to see the players coming in?
A while.
It's a lot. It's like 3 or 4 hours beforehand. Yeah. I think at least 3 hours beforehand you've got to be there, but I'd go 4 just to be safe. Sometimes they get in there so early.
You'll see a crowd at the back of the stadium, so you'll know if you missed it or not.
Yeah, you'll know. But I'd get there like 3.5, 4 if you want to have a good spot at looking at the players coming in. But yeah, thank you for your super chat as well. Look, some questions in our Q&A from our YouTube viewers, some really good ones. Why play Xerxes if he's going to leave? I don't understand how you are building towards the future if he's going to leave. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's easy. Look, if we had our full team, he wouldn't play. It's just as simple as that. If we had Mount, he probably wouldn't play. If we had Kobe, he probably wouldn't play. Bruno, he wouldn't play. If we had anybody else who could play that position, he wasn't a kid, he probably wouldn't play. So I think it's just literally a case of we don't have that many players in our team right now. Look at the bench. The whole bench is academy players. Shea Lacey played 5 minutes. So I just think it's a case of we just don't have anybody else available. And I wouldn't be surprised if Xerxes played 60 minutes and just came off, even if he played well. I wouldn't be surprised if he came off pretty early. So I think that's just the case. I don't think it's anything deeper than that, really.
Amorim has spoken about the Mount injury. He said he felt something, but I think it's small. I don't think it will take a long time, but you never know. Let's focus on this game. So taking the focus off it, and I get that. Yeah. Look, he said De Ligt's was small and he was going to be back for the next game, and he's been out for weeks now, so for so many games. So that's frustrating. Look, he said after the game against Newcastle that Mount wanted to play the second half, but he can't risk him. Good job he didn't, because if he's not fit enough to play this game, then good job he didn't play that second half. Look, it probably is small, but for Mount, he just needs to get a consistent run of games. Suddenly he starts playing 90 minutes and he's out again, and I'm like the biggest Mason Mount fan. And I think we are so much better with him. I mean, you can see the drop-off in the second half against Newcastle. It's not all because of him, but I think it was a big factor. He was doing such a good job on Tonali. Look, Mount is a very, very good player, but he needs to stay fit. And it's so frustrating he's out again, when it's an opportunity for him to step up because Bruno's not there, Mainu's still out. You need them players, and he's not there again. And look, he's such a good good quality player, but he needs to be able to step up and put some consistent runs of games together.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting as well because Luke Shaw, who I guess everyone would have probably said at the start of the season as our most injury-prone player, he started every single game.
Every single game.
Every single game for us, which is insane to think. You've literally not been injured. I mean, even the last game, I think maybe only Ricky saw this because he was the only one watching Luke Shaw for the whole game, but he said you could see him hobbling a little bit near the end of the game. That's why he came off. But he obviously wasn't anything serious because he's starting again today. So I think sometimes you got to give credit. I mean, we criticize, not criticize, but we look at Mount and say you need to do better. You need to try and stay fit. But I give credit to Luke Shaw. He's been in every single game and he's played well, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think he came off hobbling as well in the last game. And he's back starting again, starting every game. You just love it. Yep. You just love to see it. Also, just an update, Chelsea are actually currently losing 1-0 to Bournemouth. Some people are saying it should be a penalty now for Chelsea, but still, 1-0 down. Let's see how that game plays out. A competitor for them Champions League places to United. We could do with Chelsea losing this game.
Yep.
And us winning puts us 3 points clear of them. I mean, another question, Mordzs, for you is, do you think we have an element of control when Bruno is not playing? No disrespect to him, but do you think United have more control when he's not playing?
You know what? I can understand why people say that. My only thing is I really need to see it on a consistent basis at least.
You need more of a sample size.
Yeah, because Bruno plays, he misses one game a season. So it's like, if we have control for that one game, it's like, can you really say like, oh, that's all because Bruno's not playing? So look, Bruno's not going to be here for a minute now. He's not going to be here for a good 4 or 5 games maybe, until probably the end, maybe even the end of January. So if we are controlling games in this run of time, then fair enough. You can say, look, there's a all right sample size of I guess 5, 6 games, whatever it is, to say Bruno or without Bruno we are controlling games. But I just think with Bruno, and I've always said this, I just think we are just a better team with him in the team. And if we can find ways to, I guess, have players around him as well that can also help to control games. So a lot of times he is having to play a lot further back, which doesn't help his game, doesn't help the team in general. But if he can play in his preferred position and have players behind him that can also help control the game, then I think we'll be a better overall team.
I like the answer, Mordzs. Yeah. I like that answer a lot. So I've got nothing else to add. I mean, quickly, because Goldbridge is about to be live, player to watch.
Player to watch, I think Sesko. He's just not, I guess since he's come back from injury and whatnot, I guess he's not really lit the game on fire. So I really want to see if he can get back to. There was a point in the season where I actually thought Sesko was doing really, really well. I think he scored like back-to-back games, and it was like, okay, Sesko, we're looking at a player that can continue to grow and be our main goal scorer, one of our main goal scorers anyway in the team. But he hasn't been the greatest since then. So I really want to see him kick on. Hopefully, these are kind of games where you can stack up goals. You can get way better opportunities because it's a much weaker team. It's almost like playing a cup game, So hopefully Sesko can play well today and get some confidence in his game.
Yep, I'm going with Cunha and Dorgu, 2 players that I expect to step up to the plate tonight. Just to finish off, a reminder, my score prediction is 3-0. Mordzs is
4-0.
But in the back of his head it's
7.
Yeah, love that. But look, everyone, thank you very much for joining us on today's countdown to kick-off. Remember that That's Football watch-alongs will be taking place on New Year's Day. I mean, you've got some crackers in there. You've got a 5:30 watch-along. You've got an 8 p.m. watch-along. Make sure you are there. There are going to be some great games. And as well, we've got the fans forum coming up later after Mark's final score. Hopefully, it'll be a positive fans forum to send us into 2026. It'll be myself, Mordzs, Ricky and Kev. We cannot wait. Hopefully we're discussing a 7-0 win, like Mordzs has said. Hopefully we see that.
Imagine. Oh, you're crazy.
But look, it's time for us to get over to the game because Goldbridge is now live. Thank you everyone for getting involved. Thank you to Dave from Always Wolves Fan TV. Make sure you check out his channel. Another great, insightful guest. Thank you for all your interaction as well. All the comments, all the super chats, all the questions. Smash a like on the video before you go. And the last thing to say is...
We send Mark over something.
Oh, yeah, we need to send Mark over.
Should say 7-0.
7-0. 7-0. 7-0. Yeah, go on.
Come on, United!